Bob Weiner, who's a former White House spokesman during the Clinton years, and also a National Democratic strategist. Welcome to you, Bob Weiner. Nice to speak to you. Can you just explain why Hillary Clinton is expected to make this announcement this weekend? What's the significance of it? Because, after all, she's been tipped as a front runner for years.
Well, Adam, I think she probably wanted to be a month in front of the British elections that I know you're working hard on. No, seriously, she knows that all of the other candidates are going out there. Everybody has been saying that she should run. Also, there's a Federal Election Commission rule that says that 15 days after you set up your office, you have to be an announced candidate. So she is following the rules by being an announced candidate now, and it sets her up well to confront Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, who was going to announce. Jeb has his exploratory committee, and even some of the Democrats who are out there. People say there's no Democratic bench, but there is, as you know.
I mean, what changes when you become an official candidate?
You can raise money directly, and you can directly confront your opposition without knowing that people are going to say, is she running, is she not running? Look at the problems that Elizabeth Warren is having by not being a candidate. She is not able to be out there as an announced presidential candidate. So Hillary Clinton has the ability now to raise the issues which she wants, which is to set the bar at a point where there will be the first woman president of the United States, where she can make the economic issues that the Republicans have no policy other than tax cuts for the rich. It was unbelievable to all of us that Rand Paul's only economic policy was tax breaks for the rich, which has worked so badly in not creating jobs and in creating income disparity in the United States. So Hillary will be able to confront all of that on the mission to create parity for poor workers to get a higher minimum wage, to give women rights, as her famous statement was in 1995, that women's rights are human rights, when she confronted the Chinese. So let no one think that Hillary Clinton isn't tough.
Now, before she gets to the White House, of course, the first step is getting the Democratic Party nomination. You say others will challenge her. How tough a race is that going to be? Who else is going to be in there?
Well, it's probably more like Chris Matthews, who said that, for example, that Chafee will be a sparring partner. But he has a lot to say, and Bernie Sanders has a lot to say, and Martin O'Malley has a lot to say. So these folks are good candidates who could run for the office.
What about the pitfalls she could fall into? There was, of course, the killing of the ambassador in Libya. There's the whole question of her secret emails. I mean, is there enough out there to possibly derail her candidacy?
Well, the Republicans want to think so, but, you know, Reagan had hundreds killed in Lebanon, and Colin Powell erased all of his emails, even the ones where he was very mad at the administration, which is why he erased them, about the lies that they gave him on the build-up to the Iraq war. So I don't understand. You know, if you're going to have a confrontation with secretaries of state on emails, you should bring them all in, who all erased, by the way, their emails. And Jeb Bush, who erased most of his before he ran for president, and now has about a third of them up. So that's a false issue, and everybody is sorry about what happened in Benghazi. But life is tough when you're running the real world. And by the way, what isn't mentioned on that one, Adam, is that it took a year after Benghazi for the Republicans in Congress to approve the full funding of embassy security that Hillary Clinton had asked for when she was Secretary of State. They never mentioned, and I remember the press release that the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Congress, the Republican, put out. We're now doing full funding. It took you Benghazi to do it. That's really too bad.
Well, it sounds like Hillary Clinton's got your vote. Who would be her toughest opponent on the Republican side?
That's a hard one. You know, the polls are showing Rand Paul right now. We're all kind of hoping for Ted Cruz, in a sense, because he's so shut down the government and right-wing oriented. Jeb Bush would be tough, but he's got the baggage of the Iraq war and the economic crash of his brother. He also has the baggage of having overseen Bush v. Gore, which stole the election from Al Gore, who would have won it and won by 1 million votes. But the slow walk of the count in Florida allowed the Supreme Court to move in. So there are a lot of tough opponents out there.
Bob, we're going to have to end it there. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.